Hey everypony, Starryflame here. So I got a fair few questions and I might answer them a bit descriptively. I will not apologize, but I hope you hear me out on some. Also, I want to clarify with my previous video, I meant with the where's the fair use, I was having problems with copyright claims, not the where's the fair use itself. By the way, just ignore the wings. If you've been following me on Twitter and maybe DeviantArt, you know that people forced me to become an alicorn. So yeah, this is what's happened. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do as a backstory, how it happened. By the way, if you check out my other video, the one that's I'm not ready to be a princess, that's my temporary solution for a wings thing, like my announcement that I'm an alicorn. So yeah, go check that out. Yeah. Anyway, let's get the one that's most commonly asked out of the way. I ain't cute!
I may not care for being called cute, but I certainly don't react the way I do here. I just tend to overplay it because it can be entertaining. I've never been really good at being complimented, so I've kind of incorporated that into my scene. That's why I react that way.
What the? That was weird. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes. Next question. I know it doesn't count, but I couldn't resist. Yeet. Bring it on, Red Scarf. Oh, this is too easy. Just like...
There, I seem to have ended up in another dimension. Perhaps if I just look around... Please, no, not fire! Have mercy! Mercy!
That was good. Next question. I tend to rank my favorite in order of how I connect to them. My favorite is Fluttershy, due to my shyness. I had to take lessons actually to talk to people and look at them when I do so. Well, actually did too well since I stared them down at work, not meaning to. Huh, I guess that means I have a stare as well then. Actually, I didn't think about that. Then Twilight, since I love books and reading. I was also a social outcast due to bullying when I was a kid, and I'd retreat to the library where I was safe from them. That proceeded into high school where I chose to go to the library instead of making friends. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? I had to learn how to make friends, still learning how to keep them. I rank Rainbow Dash the lowest due to me not having the confidence she has in herself. Though when we see her vulnerable side, I can relate, holding up a mask in the moment to hide emotions. I am mighty loyal though. It's a tie with her and Pinky since I do laugh most situations off. Though she can tend to be written badly. Anywho, next question. Thank you. My accent is my accent. I like to fool people with it though, since I can switch to an English accent fairly easily. My reaction was basically this. Oh my god, what? How? What? This makes no sense. Why would you follow me? I just literally yell at people. Yeah! Basically that, plus more. And no, I did not. I mean, I hoped I would, but I didn't do enough to warrant people following me. I found Ben & Jerry's cotton candy ice cream is really good, though it's a tie of that and mint chocolate. You can never go wrong with mint chocolate. Yum. And that's easy. I auditioned for a role with News Ponies, didn't get it. After making a fool of myself with my dad in the next room when I was recording, since we were on holidays in Germany at the time and we're all together in the same room, I decided I'd practice a bit more. I later auditioned for Pony in a Box via the singing. Actually, I don't think I ever finished that audition, or sent it in. But I noticed auditions for a team making a Sherlock Who's radio play, so I tried for that. And I got the role of Sally Shields, who was based on Sally Donovan. I got plenty of advice from them and got a new snowball mic. Even though that was the first group I was in, the first piece that was released I voiced in was from Tales of a Junktown Pony Peddler, which is a Fallout Equestria spin-off. Squeak asked me to voice a role in it, and I agreed, though I was containing my excitement. Somewhat. that later would become a Pony in a Box show. But I remember at the time, I just kept expecting something to go wrong. I had a lot of people cancelling things on me all the time and letting me down around that time. Thankfully, both are still working today, though life does get in the way of things, doesn't it? And I have no idea what that is. Sorry. God damn it, Iris. Depending on the situation, but usually chocolate. I was making MEPs at the time and watching a bunch. An MEP is a multiple editor program, which a bunch of video editors make one video together by working with a section of a song. Someone used the Discord scenes from season 2 in a Moves Like Jagger MEP, and I was curious. Though, at the time I was thinking, why are you watching My Little Pony? That's for kids. And yeah. Also, I saw a video with Rarity where they use chroma to only have anything blue stand out in grey. It looks really cool. I chose a unicorn because at the time I figured I could make the wing spell that Twilight used on Rarity to fly if I wanted to. Also, because magic. And magic is cool. I love bats because of Flutterbat. She's awesome, okay? My favourite in terms of story is Testing 1, 2, 3, due to how I've always had worries in exams. And I'd always think when I was studying, reading the same thing over and over, it's not sinking in, oh god, I'm not gonna remember it, and panic. I thought I was the only one that had that problem. Everyone around me seemed to sink knowledge in. Then when I saw the episode, I didn't feel alone anymore. It was encouraging. I did say that I didn't connect with Rainbow Dash, and when I heard it would be a Rainbow Dash episode that week, I wasn't excited. But when watching that episode, I knew it wouldn't have worked with any of the other main 6. Although, I don't agree with the 100% she gets. Although after watching the recent episode, it kind of works, because the knowledge obviously sunk through because she made callbacks. But getting 100% in the exam with Rainbow Dash doesn't seem legit. I ain't. Yeah, I've heard of Miku. Who hasn't? I don't know about singing better than Bieber and Ariana, since it's basically the same as autotune. But I'm sure she acts better than Bieber. Yeah, I ain't a Bieber fan. True, I did have respect for him when he first started. No, I wasn't a fan of his. But he told some of his fans that knocked his mum over that it wasn't on. But he went overboard. Hell, he did some insulting things here in Australia. I switch the radio off when I hear his music or even his name. Sure, I tried making a hippogriff recently, and a few wolves. I did make some bat wings with metal joints in them, but that took me months to make. I wanted to make a toothless quad suit ages ago, when I saw this really awesome one. And I tried filling the wings with plushy stuffing to have it work. No, it didn't. Thanks, Mara. My most ambitious. I have been trying to work on an animation for Pony in a Box. Some of the group have seen some of the puppets I made. I took a bit of a break on it. Some of the faces with the audio made me chuckle a bit. Some of the audio work I edited has been fun. I will say making the radio bit I did for your Doctor Who show was fun. Yeah, you get advertising. Thank you for finding it. I think slowly roasting them alive. Though none of them seem to actually think of putting the fire out for themselves. I have, thanks. Though I feel bad of taking so much time with the one episode. I saw little Karibo playing Fallout 3 as Yami, and I was curious about Fallout. Somewhere around that time I heard about Fallout Equestria, but I never found it. When Squeak asked me to play in Tales of a Junktown Pony Peddler, since it's a Fallout Equestria spin-off, I had no knowledge about it. I think somewhere around the 5th episode I actually found it. Then I listened to Scorch's radio play, then Crazy Ramblings when the previous stopped. I find myself pretty well educated on the original story, and can usually remember facts when someone asks. Hooray for useless knowledge that is useful! I'm working on it! Why is that blacked out? Oh well. Because even though you're perverted, you can be funny. Andrea Lipman, of course. When I was a kid, Reboot was a show I watched a lot. Andrea was my favorite character, who Andrea Lipman voiced when she was younger. I was very surprised later when I found out she voiced Fluttershy, since Fluttershy is my favorite of the main 6. Thank you! When it's brightly sunny with a few clouds. Though, I do enjoy running in the rain, believe it or not. Not sure. Sunrise, I guess, since it's the start of a new day, and it's pretty. Luna!
Luna is best princess forever!
Tough question. A lot of mythological creatures usually have a dark background, or could very easily do bad things, so you'd have to be careful. Also, say if a mythological animal were brought here, I have a feeling poachers would kill them off pretty quickly. But maybe Pegasi? I like the look of the Crystal Empire, I guess. Here we go again. I knew I should have said not safe for work and then not to be asked, but no, I had to forget. I don't know. I don't tend to stare at butts. 1. I don't understand the question. Why would you eat more than one piece of fruit at the one time? Unless it's a fruit salad. Probably cider. I like apple cider, pear cider, and I found a strawberry and lime cider which is nice in small doses. Oh, and I can handle Irish whiskey pretty well. It's because me Irish heritage. What? I never understood the fascination with either. I still don't understand. What? I ain't no pet. I am Wildfire. I am uncontrollable. I still don't get it. If this is for holding something for Craft Town? I don't know. Andrea Lipman for the reason from before. Probably Scribblers, since she was the first one I heard, and how I found that side of the fandom. You need to get your head out of the gutter sometime. None lives near me. So none! I prefer to be asked first, but I'm not really a huggy person. I don't know. It really depends on that day. Because of the previously said reason. My dear Hat, surely you should know by now, sarcasm is the way of life. I haven't rage quit a game. I left a game when a Killjoy joined a game of Prop Hunt on an online server I was on, and I pulled off this really trolly move just before he joined. I was having fun, the people that I was with, they were laughing with me, and apparently my mic on his end was overly loud, and every time I talked he'd go, "Oh jeez, that hurts, stop talking, everything you say hurts my brain." And when I was calmer, and I was talking quieter, just like this, he'd still do it. So, later, I tried to ignore him. I did, I really did. But I wasn't having fun because every time I would try and talk to these people or even strategize with them, he'd do the same thing. Yeah, it was just me apparently. Then I decided to leave. So I was saying goodbye to them and then he called me a bitch. Yeah, I don't understand how that worked either. He was like, "Oh, thank God that bitch is gone." Even though I was still there. So yeah. That was as far as I could take it. It wasn't rage quitting. I just wasn't having fun. Although, would a rage quit and the Pokemon you spent ages trying to catch faints, does that count as rage quit when you flick the switch? Well, I guess press the button now, isn't it? Basically reset the game. Does that count? I still don't get this fascination with butts. It was me, Hat! It was me all along! On fire! Actually, I like lightly toasted toast. How about burn it to the ground? Because Nickelback is awesome! Hey, don't judge. I like their music. Lullaby is one I can't sing without crying because of, well, personal certain reasons. Also Pyromaniac by Cascade. I use Chrome, if that's an answer. I don't eat fried chicken. I am a pony. No, but after Googling, I think it's the orange. Disney films. And similar ones like Balto. I loved Balto growing up, but yeah. That would be Xena. Enough. I could. I find myself listening to all sorts. Usually covers or musical theatre or movie instrumentals like the How to Train Your Dragon 2 movie score. God, that was epic. Sultana brand, I guess. I do. Usually if they run on my computer, I'll play the game. I bought a whole bunch, but my laptop is a bit, slow. It won't run them like Fallout 4. GTA, I can't run them even though I bought them. I've had them for ages and I can't play either one. I do. Usually if they run on my computer, I'll play games. Gmod is probably the most I've played, though I've become addicted to Town of Slam. I also play Stronghold Crusader, I guess, and Sims 3. I have no idea, sorry. Yep, I've been bitten by a whitetail when I was a kid, and would walk past a red-bellied black snake that lived down the road from where I lived. Also, redbacks count, right? And we had funnel webs in the pool. I fell in the pool once with one in there. And we had a snake in the pool once when my brother was in there. Mum was trying to convince him to leave the pool without telling him there was a snake behind him, just so he wouldn't panic. Granted, it wasn't a dangerous snake, no, it was a blind snake, but it was a snake nonetheless in our pool. We had a rabbit in the pool once. It drowned in the pool, and my mum and my brother, no, that's right, they got it out of the pool, they had it in a bucket, and they were trying to get the courage to throw it into the bush, because we lived on the bushland, and it had its eyes wide open, and they didn't want me to see it. And it took them half an hour to get the courage. They still couldn't throw it, and they had to ask me. They thought I would freak out. I was actually really calm. I just walked over, grabbed the bucket, and I guess I was kind of emotionally disconnected. I just watched in, and they just had their jaws dropped. And they're like, "We thought you would freak out." And I'm like, it had to be done. I tried not to look at it too much, but it is kind of ingrained in my brain since I had 2 rabbits when I was growing up, and the one that died looked like my rabbit Coco. Anyway, unmajorly really. Though I like the lore that was made for FNAF, I don't consider myself in that fandom. My Little Pony is the most I've involved myself in a fandom. Well, yeah, I did years ago. They're pretty bad in terms of grammar though. I can't remember my password for fanfiction.com, but yeah. I had a few. It's actually Scribbler, since she's the whole reason I found the narrators and such. No offense, Astro. The lack of subtlety is strong for this one. If you mean within the narrators and such, Scribbler and Reverb are so cute together. However, I have an armada of ships. I haven't listened to any of yours. Sorry, Astro! I have no idea. God damn it, Marina. I guess. You don't know? Because girls! Actually, a lot of people said they liked the design of my SD, and it's fun to draw. I'm just saying, that's what people have told me. I'll never tell. I giggle at the ghosties. Apple juice, I guess? That and cream soda. Oh, that stuff is amazing. I laugh off my problems. Seriously, it's how I stay sane. It was 9 p.m. on the 3rd of May that I wrote this. It is currently 4:22 p.m. 10th of May as I record this. As I look at the time. technically, I mean, I was trying to record yesterday, and most of it sounds all muffled, so I gotta re-record it. Fun, isn't it? Burning things! I guess singing over my voice acting. I'll burn the wood to the ground, build it up, no, you're gonna start fresh, and then burn it down again. It'll burn oh so beautifully. I'm in music, I guess. From actual school, I actually loved in English when practicing for the HSC exam, when you had to choose between two sentences you were given and had to write a short story with one of those as the starting point. Oh, it was so much fun. I always wrote more than 3 pages in the time limit. Silly Dusk. I don't slaughter people. I just burn them! I would very much love for that to happen, but people keep telling me that it won't happen. Favorite movie? I don't really have a favorite movie. There are plenty that I loved growing up. I love a lot of Disney films and stuff. In case you can tell that. Favorite book? I have a lot of favorite book series. I like Delta Quest growing up, Goosebumps, Series of Unfortunate Events, Harry Potter, Narnia, The Northern Lights, and Twilight! I like the Twilight Saga. Yes, I know, but in a weird way, and I can't really explain, I've tried to do it in several takes and I can't, but Bella gave me confidence in myself. I was 14 when I read the books, and I was able to somehow, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I was able to feel better with myself. I was able to feel good. And so I like the book series from that. There are a lot of fan fictions I enjoy. Most of them are the Twilight Saga, yeah. There's one that I have that I go back to every so often because it's very entertaining, and I don't want to go too much into it. Tales of a Charming Truck Napper, and I highly recommend reading it because it's so funny. Places. Hey, I liked Venice. It was always a place I wanted to go to. And when I went there, every bridge I'd stand on, there were a lot of bridges, by the way. Every bridge I'd stand on, I'd go, Mom, guess what? I'm on a bridge in Venice! And start giggling. Those were good days. I like most with a tune that is catchy and words I can connect to. And their artist isn't a jerk, or not an egotistical maniac. Favorite episode I mentioned was Bats and Testing, for the reasons from before. Favorite pony? I like Lunar and Fluttershy because they are both like me. Bit awkward, bit shy towards people, bit out of touch with people. Also we see Lunar tries to help the CMC and stuff, and I like helping people. I don't like to see them hurt. So, I try and help when I can. Also, Flutterbat is awesome. She's just awesome. Just look at her design. She's just so cool and awesome. And the ears are so fluffy. Umbreon is best evolution because it's so cool. I mean, look at its design. Especially the shiny version. It's just awesome. I saw it when I was in Melbourne. There was that Eevee Pokemon episode thing. I don't know what it was, but they had it on a hard drive and I was watching it with them. And when the Umbreon appears on the screen, it just emerges out of the darkness, and it is just so epic. I came up with a name due to the time of creating my account for movie making. I was watching a lot of Teen Titans, and well, Starfire was my favorite character, so I based my name around that. Hence Starryflame.
I guess the weather's alright. I mean, it's not much different than over there, is it? I mean, it's sunny. Sunny's a thing, right? Thanks. It's not the best, but thank you. That's appreciated.
Anywho, thanks for sending in all these questions. It was fun. I hope I can do this again at some point. I have 194 subscribers at the point of making this, so God damn it! I ain't cute, I am terrified.
I am the very fear that strikes into your heart. Why would this is absolutely ridiculous, and you should all be ashamed and go away!